Right now at 10, Kamala Harris makes a campaign stop in La Crosse. And Adam Fravel's jury trial is officially underway. Plus, a Muskie Challenge is helping raise money for local youth organizations.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 10.
For News 8 Now at 10, I'm Emily Brown. Ken is off tonight. Trial is underway for Adam Fravel, the man accused of killing Winona mother Madeline Kingsbury. Attorneys and witnesses took the stand today after a week and a half of jury selection. Officer Ethan Sense and investigator Anita Sabata from the Winona Police Department appeared as witnesses this afternoon. Body cam footage containing initial interviews between investigators and Fravel were presented as evidence. During an interview from April 2nd, investigators questioned Fravel about his relationship with Kingsbury. When asked about Gabby Petito, a woman who was strangled to death in 2021, Fravel said he was infatuated with the case, saying he told Kingsbury she would end up like that as a joke. Sabata noted that Fravel had scratches on his face and neck during interviews. The prosecution will continue its presentation tomorrow morning. A man is in custody in connection with a shooting in Winona. Police in Winona responded to reports of gunfire on West 10th Street around 4 a.m. today. Upon arrival, they found a man with a gunshot wound who was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. 27-year-old Cole Cameron has been arrested for first-degree assault. Winona PD says officers spoke with Cameron and multiple witnesses and learned that Cameron and the victim were allegedly involved in a verbal argument before the shooting. The victim, a 35-year-old male from Winona, is in critical condition at Gunderson Health System in La Crosse.
Well, we had very dry conditions today and windy conditions as well, and that's going to be the story for the next several days. In fact, tonight the winds actually won't die off too much. They'll stay up with that south wind, so that'll keep the temperatures more in the 40s as you wake up tomorrow morning. Relative humidity values will be quite low for overnight too, so it'll still be dry as you wake up. 40s, maybe some upper 30s in some of the colder locations. As you wake up 47 across, we're going to quickly climb up to around 63 by noon, and that south wind will once again become a little bit strong in the afternoon hour, maybe not quite as strong as we saw on Thursday. Similar story for Eau Claire, 46, and also that south wind begins to pick up by noon, getting into the low 60s with clear skies. There's your temperatures right now, still in the 50s for most areas. It's going to be a mild night. Some of the colder locations, obviously in Volksfield, 40, they'll get down basically back into the 30s. Big picture shows clear skies pretty much throughout. The next system we're watching is well to the west. It does look quite impressive right now, but as we go on later in the forecast, we'll kind of break down if that brings any type of relief with precipitation and if our temperatures continue to be on above average and how long that'll actually last a bit later in the broadcast.
Okay, we might be putting shorts back on this week.
You might want them for a Sunday. That's a good thing.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Greg. Vice President Kamala Harris was back in La Crosse today, rallying voters at UWL. Today's visit marks her second stop in La Crosse this year, but her first as the presidential nominee. More than 3,000 people gathered at the UWL Rec Center to hear Harris. During her rally, she highlighted expanding Medicare, affordable housing, and improving the economy.
Together, we will build in that future what I call an opportunity economy, which is where every American has an opportunity to own a home, to start a business, to build wealth. Under my plan, and I know this is a big deal for the young people here, we will bring down the cost of housing.
Joining Harris today was billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban, a known supporter of the Harris Walz campaign. Cuban is calling the election a battle for entrepreneurship and small businesses.
Kamala Harris wants to grow the number of small businesses in this country from 33 million to more than 50 million. She wants to do it because she knows that small businesses drive this economy.
Today was one of 3 stops Harris made in the battleground state. Earlier, she campaigned in Milwaukee and then headed to Green Bay after the rally. Wisconsin GOP also released a statement about Vice President Harris's visit. The statement reads in part, Harris bragged about Bidenomics and declared it a success. Now she returns to Wisconsin, expecting us to ignore what our bank statements and monthly budgets make clear, that we were better off 4 years ago under President Trump. In a Zoom call, they also highlighted Harris's economic policies. Early voting is about to begin, and local lawmakers want to ensure residents are informed. Former Governor Tommy Thompson was at Onalaska City Hall today to highlight the importance of early voting. The governor was joined by several GOP candidates, including Ryan Hipsch. Early voting in Wisconsin will start on October 22nd. A new dog kennel interim zoning ordinance will move into the county board. The Winona County Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend the ordinance to the county board's agenda. The new ordinance will prohibit new commercial dog kennels or expansions of existing ones and will require owners of kennels to get county business leases. A La Crosse business owner is casting his rod for a good cause. Al Lewis, a Rotary Club member and owner of Designing Jewelers, hosted his annual Al's Muskie Challenge. The event raises money for youth organizations in the Coulee region. This year they raised over $200,000, surpassing their goal of $100,000. Lewis says he appreciates the time volunteers spend with young people as they develop into our future leaders.
Don't realize how much they do. They expend a lot of time, a lot of energy, making sure today's youth have a chance, because today's youth are tomorrow's leaders.
People can donate all year round. Anyone interested in doing that can head to news8000.com. We'll have a link on our platforms. A top Hamas leader killed in Gaza. Why the death of the terrorist is causing fear in Israel.
Racist and offensive. Ryan Hipsch's social media history tells us who he really is. In one post, Hipsch said that he wanted a hat with the N-word embroidered on it. In another, Hipsch aims a rifle and comments that he can't wait to kill Muslims using a slur. Then wrote, LOL, that was racist. And that's just the beginning. Hipsch's social media posts are full of degrading terms for women and people with disabilities. Tell Ryan Hipsch that his agenda is too extreme for the Coulee region.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Well, that was too close. If we keep waiting, it'll get one of us.
I know these things can be a real hazard, but groundwater does this to concrete all the time.
Water did this.
But it's okay. You can lift it back up.
Well, let's get lifting.
Let's do it.
The effects of water can be surprising, but you can. Put water back in its place with a free inspection from Innovative Basement Authority. For a limited time, get $500 off any repairs when you call or go online today.
Israeli officials say its troops have killed Hamas's top leader in a military operation in Gaza. CBS News correspondent Rami Inocencio has the latest from Tel Aviv.
Confirmation of the death of the mastermind of the October 7th terror attacks came from Israel's foreign minister following DNA testing. On Wednesday, the Israel Defense Forces killed Hamas's top leader, Yahya Sinwar, and 2 others in a raid in southern Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said evil suffered a heavy blow, but the war is not over. Last month, the Justice Department charged Sinwar and other Hamas figures, saying they financed Gantz directed and oversaw a campaign to murder U.S. citizens and endanger U.S. national security, orchestrating killings and kidnappings.
His decision, and it was very much his decision, to launch the terrorist attacks of October 7th, unleashed a year of tragedy in the Middle East.
Not everyone is celebrating here in Israel. At this rally for hostages still in Gaza, outside the defense ministry, families and supporters are afraid Hamas will kill whoever is still alive.
We still have 101 hostages who have to get home. We have to bring them home.
The parents of U.S. and Israeli hostage Omer Nutra released a video statement.
This is a critical, time-sensitive development as it relates to the hostages. Their lives are in great danger now, more than ever.
Vice President Kamala Harris commented on the death following a campaign event.
Justice has been served, and the United States, Israel, and the entire world are better off as a result.
The October 7th attacks that killed more than 1,200 Israelis launched the war against Hamas that has killed 42,000 Palestinians, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. The conflict has also spread to Lebanon. Rami Inocencio, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
President Biden spoke to Netanyahu after the confirmation of Sinwar's death. The president says he feels more hopeful now about a ceasefire. Less chocolate for Halloween? Why the popular candy could be slim pickings in your trick-or-treat bags this year.
And drought conditions have expanded across the area. I'll give an update if we have any type of precipitation in the forecast and how warm those temperatures will go this weekend. That coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Make your tailgate tail great at Hy-Vee. Pork spare ribs, $1.49 a pound. Bone-in pork shoulder roast, $1.48 a pound. And select pork chops, 99 cents. Save in-store and online, Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Today at Wesco and Sparta, it's interest-free. Free! 24 months interest-free, 36 months interest-free, even 48 months interest-free on everything from beautiful furniture for every room and premium mattresses to flooring and brand-name appliances. Choose the home furnishings you want. Then Wesco lets you buy interest-free to suit your needs. 24 months interest-free, 36 months interest-free, or even 48 months interest-free. It's an interest-free for all today at Wesco in Sparta.
I served in the United States Navy to protect and honor my country, so it makes me sick to know it. But our Congressman, Derek Van Orden, participated in January 6th, the deadly Capitol attack where 140 police officers were injured and 5 ultimately died. Van Orden was there. Then he lied about it until social media posts proved Van Orden was there. As rioters attacked it, he dishonored our country. Derek Van Orden doesn't belong in Congress.
VoteVets is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Derek Van Orden's in trouble, and the special interests are bailing him out. Just look at who's paying for all these ads. Big banks, insurance companies, drug companies. Because Washington insiders want to restrict healthcare access and let insurers deny people with pre-existing conditions. Millions would lose coverage. Wisconsin's fed up with Van Orden and Washington insiders. We want leaders who will fight for us.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
This illegal immigrant was recently arrested in southwestern Wisconsin for a sexually violent attack on a woman, a suspected Venezuelan gang member who entered the U.S. just last year. Unfortunately, Steve Doyle supports sanctuary cities that protect criminals like this, and Doyle opposed sending resources to secure the border to keep dangerous criminals like Alejandro Jose Coronel Zarate away from our families. Steve Doyle's failures are destroying Wisconsin lives. Steve Doyle, unwilling to secure the border, unfit to serve.
Make your tailgate tail great at Hy-Vee. Pork spare ribs, $1.49 a pound. Bone-in pork shoulder roast, $1.48 a pound. And select pork chops, 99 cents. Save in-store and online, Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, there may be less chocolate to steal from your kids' trick-or-treat bags this Halloween. Oh no. Experts say that's because high cocoa prices are driving consumers to purchase more gummy and fruity treats. An analyst at market research firm Circana told the Washington Post that while chocolate still dominates, more teens and middle-aged adults are leaning towards gummy and sour candy. One, because they tend to be less expensive, and two, there's now a broader range of flavors to choose from. The National Retail Federation expects Halloween spending in general to drop compared to last year's record-breaking sales, with a 5% drop across the board on items like costumes and decor. Well, if you already bought your Halloween chocolate, it could be melting this weekend because it's going to get pretty warm out there. Let's send it over to Greg for the latest.
Yeah, thankfully it's not Thanksgiving, and thankfully it's not Halloween quite yet, because it's definitely not going to feel like coming up this weekend with the temperatures that we're going to see, more like middle of September. But drought-wise, we've seen the expansion of drought, at least moderate drought across the area. Last week we had more abnormally dry. Still northeast Iowa, northeast Wisconsin are under the worst conditions, but this has begun to expand across not just our area, but across the whole Midwest, and that has led to the high fire danger also that we've seen here. Precipitation the next 7 days, if you're looking at any, the only chance we see is maybe Monday night, Tuesday night, Monday night into Tuesday maybe, but even then we're looking at less than a tenth. Confidence is still quite low that we're going to see widespread soaking rainfall with any system. If we don't get anything this period, it may be till next weekend to have a next chance too. So it's not looking good, really promising this whole month. Overall, if we look at breezy and milder tonight, you'll wake up with more 40s as you come out the Friday morning commute. Breezy and warmer on Friday. I think the winds will be a little bit less, relative humidity, a little bit more moisture in the air, so the fire danger won't be as bad. And then going this weekend, really, as we mentioned already, it's going to be warm. We're a good shot that we're going to see 80 degrees at some locations come Sunday, so definitely more early September-like. Really, the big picture show, here's that system out to the west, which looks impressive somewhat right now, producing some mountain snow out there and precipitation. Ahead of it, we got the south flow. Unfortunately, this system is not going to really amount to too much as it comes through. It's going to weaken quite significantly, and you can see it right, we show you right now. As we get towards tomorrow morning, you can see that system out to the west with cloud cover getting close to Minnesota. We're going to have the southerly flow continued, and then as we go into Friday night into Saturday, it's going to get closer to the area, but it's not going to amount to too much in the way of just cloud cover, and that's about it as it comes through. Any types of precipitation look to stay pretty much north of the area. It just slides across the area Saturday into Saturday night, maybe some less clouds, and then we go into Sunday. Behind this is actually not going to cool down. The wind's going to turn around to the southwest, and we're going to warm right back up. So Sunday, more sun and definitely warmer conditions too. And beyond this, there's not much else. We have another system potentially, as I mentioned, Monday night, Tuesday, that may lift north and give our next chance for a slight chance for some showers, but overall, it's not that impressive. Temperatures tomorrow looking at upper 60s, low 70s, so we're definitely going to be above average for all the locations with that south wind. And then we go until Saturday, we're going to start off really mild once again into the 40s, even low 50s, so definitely a warm start to Saturday. More clouds going into Saturday, maybe a shower up in Rusk County, but I think everyone will stay dry. Mid 70s, so it could be a warm day, and it just keeps going on. And if you look at the weekend overall, any type of activities, definitely dress appropriate. You have 70 Saturday, potentially 80, and less wind as we go on Sunday, more sun too. So once again, it's not a really typical end of October weekend that we're going to have out there. And if we go into next week, the temperatures do cool down behind that system Monday night and Tuesday, but we're only cooling down to about average by Wednesday, and then we're going to start climbing right back up towards the following weekend. So no type of Halloween-like weather in the forecast for the next 7 to 8 days. No, nothing. More like about early September-like weather.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be about low 60s right now.
Upper 50s,
average.
around 60. So that may hit Wednesday, but in the meantime, we're going to be maybe flirting with 80 this weekend.
Drastic difference.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Greg. Coming up in sports, conference champions are crowned as the volleyball regular season wraps up, plus action on the cross-country course. Cade is in next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
Let's talk about Rebecca Cook. She's a political operative. She's worked for Defund the Police radicals across this country.
Cook spent millions getting Mandela Barnes elected.
the most anti-law enforcement candidate in Wisconsin's history.
You remember Barnes, the guy who said reducing prison populations was sexy?
Defund the police radicals, make it harder for us to keep you safe.
That's why we can't support Rebecca Cook, because she'll never support us. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
It's the dining sale at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. From upscale contemporary styles to warm rustic solid wood from Amish makers, no matter your taste, we have all the latest looks for your kitchen and dining room. And right now, on top of sale prices, you can save an extra $100, $200, or $400. Choose from in-stock options or design your own. Don't delay. The savings won't last long. Shop now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
As a working mom, I'm feeling the pain of inflation. Everything costs more these days because of Biden and Kamala's wasteful spending. And while we pay more, they're giving away our hard-earned money to illegal immigrants. Tammy Baldwin is just as bad. Baldwin voted to give amnesty and taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. She even gave them government stimulus checks and free health care. We can't afford Tammy Baldwin and her handouts to illegal immigrants.
I'm Eric Kovdy, and I approve this message.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we've helped hunters gear up for the season for over 6 decades. So as you prep for this year's hunt, shop unbeatable deals on supplies for you and your field companions to make your trip successful. Right now, get a free $10 Blaine's Farm and Fleet gift card when you buy select bags of Purina Pro Plan dog food, featuring advanced formulas to support your dog's unique performance needs and taste preferences. So gear up and save on Purina Pro Plan dog food.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Kate Overton.
Conference champions are being crowned tonight. A bunch of big volleyball matches, but first we're going to start on the cross-country trails. One of the best runners in the nation was going for an MVC title. Let's go to Maple Grove. On Alaska's Manny Putz, a 2-time state champ, hoping to make it 3 in just a few weeks, but first he had to take on the MVC field. Right to the front of the pack he goes, and I mean, just look at his pace. He's sprinting, nobody near him, down the final stretch, through the finish line in 14 minutes, 56 seconds, winning by nearly a minute. But it's a bittersweet day for the senior as it's his last race on one of his favorite courses.
I'm going to miss just knowing every single inch of this course. You know, I've ran this like a handful of times. I just know when to kick, what time I should be at this location. I know where the bumps are. You know, it's just like home to me. This is our home course, so I'm going to miss it.
In second place was Aquinas' Declan Gregg, who put together a good run, but it was the Holmen Vikings winning the team scores. They would add 5 in the top 15. And in the girls' race, some pre-race hugs and high fives. Holmen hoping to defend their title. And Sabrina Lechner was owning the course. She would take first in 1923, winning her 3rd MVC title in as many tries. Emily Bagnevsky and Sanjana Musafer would go 2-3 to help the Blue Golds take second, but the Vikings would finish with 5 racers in the top 7 and would take first in very impressive fashion.
We just are really supportive of each other, and we just push each other every day during practice to be better, and we're really good friends, so it just helps.
Well, cross-country sectionals are set for next weekend, and the state meet will take place on November 2nd. Over to West Salem, volleyball action, Cooley Conference volleyball action. Panthers already locked up the conference title, but they were looking to finish the season a perfect 12-0 in Cooley play, hosting Arcadia. Raiders starting off strong with a line drive from Caitlin Bremer through the block for the score. West Salem a bit off to a slow start, but Addison Ferguson able to get through the block for a kill. Later, McKenna Ely wanted to get some points on the board, but Tatum Drazkowski said not today. A huge block for Arcadia, but the Panthers would flip a switch. Ely again with the attack, able to put it past the block, taking the first set for West Salem. Panthers go on to win 3-0, finishing perfect in conference play, 24-6 overall. They'll be a 3 seed in the Division II playoffs. Tonight, the Aquinas Blue Golds wrapped up their MVC title with a 3-0 win over Sparta. The Blue Golds finished the regular season 23-3 and are conference champions for the first time since 2019. They'll enter the playoffs as one of the top teams in Division III. Out of the Scenic Bluffs Conference, Hillsboro got a big win earlier this week to take a 1-game lead, and tonight The Tigers closed it out, winning 3-0 over Royal, and they are officially conference champions. The Tigers finished the year 23-7 and will enter the Division IV playoffs as a 2 seed. And in the Ridge and Valley Conference, Ithaca took down Wazeeka Steuben 3-0, and with that, the Bulldogs finished the year 13-1 in conference play, 14-4 overall. They'll be a 2 seed during the Division V playoffs next week. Packers versus the Texans this weekend. Many had this game circled when the schedules came out with so much young talent on both rosters, but one of the storylines entering Sunday is the new kicking situation for Green Bay as they recently signed Brand McManus. McManus is cleared to play after an investigation into an alleged sexual assault case, and he says he's ready to move on and make kicks for the green and gold.
I'm just happy the matter's been resolved. You know, like I said, it's been difficult, but just continue to try to keep my head down, work hard. You know, like I said, hope for that opportunity again. Like I said, extremely thankful that there's someone out there that's willing to give me another chance, and like I said, super excited to be here and help this team hopefully get to the next level.
And one of my other favorite storylines this weekend is Emily versus the state of Wisconsin. Obviously, Emily, a huge Texans fan.
I was going to say the newsroom, but the state of Wisconsin, basically. I'm going against all of y'all.
So when the Packers win, everyone be sure to send Emily a message and say that's what she gets.
Okay. Oh, that's what I get from being from Houston. Yeah, I am rooting for them. I'm looking forward to the matchup. It's going to be a great one.
Should be a great game.
They both have good records and
should be a lot of fun. Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Stay with us. We'll have more news after the break.
Right now at International Furniture, get store-wide fall savings on all the brands you know and trust. Fjords, Durham Bedroom, Norwalk, Hooker, Flex Steel, and Hancock and more. Hurry in today for the best selection and savings. International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
WinSenate is responsible for the content of this message.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
A suspected Venezuelan gang member who was arrested for domestic battery.
Violently attacked a woman physically and sexually.
The border crisis is real here in Wisconsin.
Criminal gangs harming our community.
We're stretched thin. Open borders and weak politicians are crushing us.
Rebecca Cook is one of them. She doesn't back law enforcement. She'll never secure the border. She doesn't even want to. That's why we stand with Derek Van Orton. He has our back. And I've got yours. I'm Derek Van Orton, and I approve this message.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Right now at International Furniture, get store-wide fall savings on all the brands you know and trust. Fjords, Durham Bedroom, Norwalk, Hooker, Flex Steel, and Hancock and more. Hurry in today for the best selection and savings. International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
We have an update on a brazen bird napping in Concord, California more than a month ago. One of the birds is now back home with its owner. As Tim Johns explains, the case is not yet completely closed.
It was a scene of pure jubilation. Over a month after her bird Tofu was stolen, Mercedes Kemp finally reunited with him on Tuesday.
He recognized me as I was crossing the street, and by the time I got up to him, we were both just smiling ear to ear, overjoyed.
Hi, Tofu.
Tofu was stolen along with another bird named Plato last month from Kemp's Feathered Follies pet store in Concord. Both birds are estimated to be worth thousands of dollars. After initially running cold, the Concord Police Department says additional evidence uncovered by the Union City Police Department ultimately led them to Tofu, who had been sold at least 4 times and was down in Los Angeles.
We did follow-up investigation in various cities. We were in San Jose, Fremont, Union City, into Modesto, and every step we took led us a little bit closer.
Kemp says while Tofu was missing, she and her shop received an enormous outpouring of support from the community.
Oh my gosh, I read the paper.
We witnessed some of that support firsthand while at Feathered Follies on Wednesday.
I always come here for my birds too, but I was so excited when I saw the pictures and wow.
Oh, so grateful. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful.
I know.
While Tofu has been reunited with his owner, the other stolen bird, Plato, is still missing. And the Concord Police Department says they're doing everything they can to bring him back home.
You're being shy, boy.
As for Kemp, she says she couldn't be happier to be reunited with her baby once again. And for the love that she's gotten in his absence, she plans on paying some of it back. She tells us she recently created a nonprofit called the Feathered Follies Foundation.
We want to be able to help birds that can't help themselves, so we have, a roof and some food and a place to help rehabilitate them when they need it.
Authorities have identified 2 suspects in the bird napping cases. One of them has already been arrested. The other has an outstanding warrant out for his arrest.
Final look at your forecast when we come back.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
He thinks he's better than us. Derek Van Orden said, "I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman." So it's no surprise Derek Van Orden would cut Social Security and Medicare and give more tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. We earned those benefits with every paycheck, but Derek Van Orden thinks he's better than us. Don't let Derek Van Orden cut Social Security and Medicare. Your community PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Sometimes a celebration means fireworks and loud music. I'll just tell you that I'm celebrating 35 years at the board store, 80 years on the planet, and my daughter Danielle becoming the new general manager of the board store. Let what's personal to me be personal to you with savings on your next home improvement.
Call for a prompt free estimate on windows and doors, on siding or gutters, on a bathroom or a kitchen, on a sunroom or deck.
Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The board store, improving your home, improving your life.
Eric Hovde has a problem with the truth. Time and again, his ads have been called false. He's a desperate candidate, willing to say anything. But here's what's true. Eric Hovde has a plan to slash Social Security 28%, Medicare 25%, veterans benefits 40%, all to spend $4 trillion on tax breaks for rich guys like himself. Eric Hovde's lying, and he's not for us.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
You come alive in the dead of winter and start work early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to move, plow, blow, and thrive in the winter. So when the snow falls, you can rise to meet it.
Right now, receive 0% APR for 60 months and up to $2,300 off BX Series tractor packages. Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
WinSenate is responsible for the content of this message.
All right, tomorrow we're looking at good conditions here too. That didn't play well. But anyway, we're looking at 70s, and then it's going to climb up to near 80 this weekend. So it definitely will not feel like the end of October, more like the middle of September. We will cool down next week, but cooling down means back going to 59, which is about average. The only problem with this whole forecast is we don't have any precipitation in the forecast. And if you go through next weekend, it's still not that impressive for rain chances. So we have had a big whopping 100th up at Eau Claire this whole month, and the airport of La Crosse has had a big fat 0 for rainfall. Some have seen some rainfall, but not a lot.
As long as it doesn't happen on our football
Good.
playoffs.
Yeah,
Once again, a good night for football Friday.
And we've got peak colors going on
That's
about this week, right? There's some perks to this. All right, thank you so much.